What's up, you animals? Jamo here, and today we're talking about The Kingsman, the new film from Mathew Vaugh, who is just determined, for whatever reason, to turn this Kingsman thing into a franchise. It's the third one. I saw the first in this trilogy, Kingsman: The Secret Service, way back in 2014 when it released, and I kind of liked it. It was a clever action movie. I did not partake of the second course. I heard it was bad, but I cannot personally comment. What I can say is that this sequel, or this prequel, because we have to have a prequel because it's 2022, The Kingsman is an absolute mess, bordering on a disaster. It's very nearly a disaster, but I'll just call it a mess. I think a mess will suffice. The story concerns an underground British resistance consisting of Ralph Fiennes, his son, a lady, and Jimin Hansu, doing their gentlemanly best to turn the tide of World War I. Apparently, in the logic of this movie, the First World War is the result of a nefarious plot concocted by a Bond villain for, reasons. Let's just say reasons. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that they embark on a globe-trotting adventure to beat the baddies and divert disaster. And it is, like I said, a mess. It is a ridiculous mess. The movie starts off with some really heavy-handed audience manipulation, complete with an overdramatic score, to set up Ralph Fiennes and his son's characters. They do this through the death of the wife/mother. Spoilers, I guess. It's in the first minute of the movie, though. It then transitions fairly abruptly into what felt like a hammy James Bond movie from the 70s, complete with a group of cartoon villains around a table, plotting out their nonsense carnival of a plan. By the time our heroes travel to Russia to assassinate Rasputin, I realized though that I was wrong. This is not a James Bond movie. It's actually an Austin Powers movie directed by Mel Brooks. Only instead of Austin Powers, you have Ralph Fiennes fighting Rasputin, whose character is just bonkers. He very loudly describes his penchant for eating and sex. And I won't say he elevates it, but his very presence transforms this film into complete, unadulterated schlock. This right here is where the movie becomes schlock. And then it shifts again into a pseudo-Spielbergian coming-of-age war drama in the trenches, complete with this vastly, laughably manipulative music I talked about a minute ago. To its credit, there are a few really well done and pretty fun action sequences. Mathew Vaugh is a pretty skilled action director, but the shift in tone was mind-bogglingly ill-handled. I laughed at this movie quite a lot, and almost never at the moments the movie wanted me to laugh. And I feel like that's a problem. And then it shifts again. It shifts back into hammy Austin Powers mode as Ralph Fiennes goes after the big baddie. It's so stupid, you guys. And the payoff, the character arc for our British super spy, is that he learns to overcome pacifism and murder bad guys who are completely defenseless and at his mercy. I'm not kidding. That's his arc. That is the arc of this movie. Okay, so this movie's bad, in case that wasn't clear. But it's not like generic bad, like this garbage behind me. It's more interesting than that, because the way the tone just spastically jumps around makes it feel almost experimental, to the point where it almost broke my brain. And like I said, some of the action is fun, and Ralph Fiennes is always great. He carries this movie. But boy, oh boy, is it schlock. Mathew Vaugh has completely lost his ability to keep the reins on in any meaningful way. And by the end, I was just exhausted. So, here's the question, right? Should you watch The Kingsman? I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. It's not good, but it's so bananas and so messy, and the tonal shifts are so abrupt and terrible that it almost comes back around in a strange way. to where my brain needed to see it through, just to see how poorly it would turn the next corner. That is schlock. This is schlock. If that sounds interesting, I guess go for it? Question mark? I really don't know, friends. It's up to you. But I will say, if they make a fourth one, which they really shouldn't, I probably won't watch it. I think I'm done. I'm all schlocked out. And that's me done for the day. Thanks for dropping by, and now get out of my theater. Me and Jimmy are gonna watch The Great Escape. That's right. Now that is a good movie.